Hello friends, myself Professor Lopatil from Edge Institute of Engineering and Technology, Automobile Engineering Department. So we are in lecture series of subject Vehicle Dynamics and we are learning chapter 5, that is steering system. So till now we have learned several points or several topics regarding steering system, like how steering is going to work, main principle of the steering system, different types of steerings that we are using, different gearing box. Also, how the different parameters are going to affect my overall driving parameters and overall driving conditions, and several factors that are affecting my overall driving performance of the car. So basically, we have learned so many things regarding steering system, and in steering system, several parameters we have to check or some errors that we have to identify, and depending upon that errors, how my steering is going to react, that I have to know or that I have to check for my performance of that steering system. So basically overall steering system that refers to the overall driving condition of the car. And today we are going to learn about main or basic two parameters like bump steer or roll steer. These are the basic terms that we are going to use or we have already used in our subject Vehicle Dynamics. And the second is about weight or load transfer. So these two are the basic concept. According to that, overall dynamics of the steering has to depend upon these criteria. So let us begin with the first topic, that is the bump steer or roll steer. So we can say that the bump steer or roll steer, according to its name itself, you can find that it is highly based on the road condition, or we can say the bump or hump of that road condition. So for that, in definition term, we can say that the bump steer is when your wheel steer themselves without input from the steering wheel. So this is the condition where my vehicle feels on the bump, or that is depend upon the road condition. So we can say that without any input of driver, the my steering is going to react by itself. That is called bump steer or roll steer. Here you can see in the image, like due to that bump or road condition, my left tire and right tire goes up and down, and suspension effect is going to be created. And due to that suspension created and tie rod, what will happen? My steering is about to rotate itself towards left and right direction. So this is about bump steer, and it is what I can say, it is undesirable steering that is caused by bump or any other road condition or any track that is with improper road condition. Also by changing tie rod length and suspension effect or different steering linkages. Also bump steer causes the vehicle to turn by itself. So it is, as I said, undesirable property for my steering system. Also you can say that the excessive bump steer that increases my tire wear, so overall the life of my tire goes to decrease and makes the vehicle more difficult to handle. So for that different road condition, it is not desirable to keep bump steer or roll steer effect in my vehicle. So ultimately that is depending upon the driver's condition, or how my driver is going to react for particular bump steer or road steer on my rough surface or rough road. For example, let's say if the front left wheel rolls over a bump, like if my front wheel is roll over a bump, and what will happen? It compresses the suspension on particular that corner, and my steering will going to automatically rotate to the left. So according to that left condition, we can say that the two-out condition for my left wheel. And what will that cause? That cause the car to turn itself towards the left direction. So depending upon the bump of towards right or left. So according to that bump, my steering has to rotate by itself. That is called bump steer or roll steer. So here one image video has been shown, like what do you mean by bump steer. So this is my overall chassis front steering mounted, and here you can see that with the help of bump, what will happen, the suspension has to compress in both ways, because we are saying that my both tires are on the bump or particular road condition, not only one tire. So what will happen, the suspension compresses and changing that tie rod length, and according to that change in length, what will happen, that my wheels are going to be in two-out condition by changing itself. So for that, we can say that these conditions are my bump steer or roll steer condition. So moving further, how to adjust that bump steer condition or how to eliminate these conditions. So for that, we have to change some parameters or change some dimension or adjustment for our moving front suspension components, like several ups and downs, in and outs for that particular tie rods and suspension system. So let us say the inner tie rod mounting point is moved up either by moving the rack or modifying the pitman arm mounting point or arm drop. So that is one example. So according to that example, we can say that there are number of factors or number of points that we are going to modify to recover from that bump steer condition. Also, that result is in tie rods R, and by changing that particular parameter, what will I get? I can get the change in arc length, and it will require a change in tie rod length as well to be in a proper alignment. So that there are, you can see there are several parameters, and according to change in that parameter, the radius of that arc, that will also change. So from that parameter, we can say that we have to eliminate or minimize that bump steer effect. And finally, it is highly depending upon the driver's condition, that how to handle that bump steer condition. Moving further, let us talk about the weight transfer or load transfer. We are generally saying that in all the automobile vehicles, like if there is two-wheeler or four-wheeler, we have talked very much about weight transfer. Like, what do you mean by weight transfer or load transfer? So according to definition, we can say that the weight transfer or load transfer, that are the two expressions used for confusing two different effects. Like if I am talking about these two effects, like first is the change in load borne by different wheels. So according to the reaction of individual wheels, the weight transfer is going to happen. That is for perfectly rigid vehicles during acceleration. So that is my first condition. The second condition is the change in center of mass. That is the center of gravity or center of mass, that location relative to the wheel because of suspension compliances or cargo shifting or sloshing. So it means that it is overall the mass, not center of gravity. It is depending upon the mass. So if due to that unsprung mass, overall center of mass is going to shift. So these two conditions we can call about its weight transfer. Also in the automobile industry, weight transfer generally refers to change in load borne by different wheels during acceleration. So if we are talking about moving vehicle, then we can say that the weight transfer is going to occur from front part to the rear part, or also depending upon the mass of the overall vehicle. This would be more properly referred to as a load transfer. So we are calling it either weight transfer or load transfer, and that is the expression used in motorcycle industry. So for two-wheeler, we can say that the weight transfer or load transfer that we can call upon. So in the image you can see that if I'm going to brake my four-wheeler. What will happen? The overall mass of the body that comes to the front tires. So this is my weight transfer. And if we are talking about load transfer, so basically load transfer and weight transfer, we are calling it same. But the load transfer is the measurable change of load by different wheels during acceleration. Okay, so that is for both longitudinal and lateral. So there are several forces acting while my vehicle is in moving condition. So according to that force, the load transfer is going to happen, and that is the measurable change for my overall vehicle. So that we can call it as load transfer. We generally not distinguish it between load transfer and weight transfer. So the several maneuvers that we have to keep in our mind for load transfer. There are basic maneuvers like braking, also deceleration or acceleration part. So according to these conditions, the forces are going to change, and that is called my load transfer. Now the center of mass, again in this case also the center of mass is going to change. Also for load transfer that may be experienced by vehicles with no suspension at all. So if I am talking about the cycle, again for load transfer, that is also going to happen in my two-wheeler or cycle portion. Now load transfer is a crucial concept in understanding vehicle dynamics, and the same is true for bike for longitudinal portion. So this is the basic concept, and from these concepts we have to calculate, or we have already talked about the dynamics of the vehicle, whether it is two-wheeler or four-wheeler. So from this figure you can see that the vehicle is moving towards left or right, and due to its overall momentum, the load is going to transfer to the outward portion. So that is called load transfer. So this is all about weight transfer and load transfer. So we have completed this our fifth chapter, that is steering. That is all about steering system. Thank you.